Well, this tragedy has celebrities around the country and all around the world sending their condolences and support to Marshall County.
Many took to social media offering their thoughts and prayers. LEX18's Kylan Mills has the story.
Kentucky on the minds of people across the country today in wake of the tragic shooting. Many took to social media to send their condolences. Country music star Jake Owen tweeted, quote, "My heart is so sad for the people of Kentucky," end quote. He goes on to say he believes we as a country will find a way to combat this senseless violence. Hollywood actress Chrishell Hartley is an alumni of Marshall County High School. She said in a tweet that she can't imagine the pain these families now have to go through. Former Wildcat turned Minnesota Timberwolves player Karl Anthony Towns tweeted, quote, "Thoughts and prayers with everyone in Marshall County," end quote. And Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau even wrote on Twitter that he spoke to Governor Bevin saying, quote, "All our hearts go out to Kentuckians," end quote. Covering the news, Kylan Mills, LEX18 News.
You can find the latest developments about this story 24/7.
We'll be updating the story with new details on LEX18.com, or you can get the latest on the LEX18 News app. It's free in your app store.
In other news, a Lexington man is accused of stealing thousands of dollars in merchandise from the Kroger store where he worked.
LEX18's Lee Searcy has the story of what is alleged to be an inside job.
35-year-old Andron Burns smiled for his mugshot when Lexington police busted him for theft over $10,000. He's accused of stealing meat and merchandise from the Leestown Kroger where he worked. According to the police citation, Kroger's loss prevention told officers they have surveillance footage of Burns stealing from the store. The report states he admitted to taking over $14,000 of merchandise over a 4-month period since October 2017. Police say Burns admitted to selling the merchandise to 3 different individuals, but wouldn't give any names. The report also states he received only $30 for the merchandise. We went to Burns' address listed on the police report.
I'm looking for Andron Burns.
He's not here.
The lady who answered the door appeared surprised to see us.
He won't be here till after 4 or 5 today.
Is he working?
I guess. I don't know.
Burns paid a $1,000 bond to get out of jail. We contacted Kroger headquarters, who confirmed that merchandise was indeed stolen, but a spokesman declined to say anything else. Covering the news in Lexington, Lee Searcy, LEX18 News.
Gradually improving weather as we go through this evening. Now, some of us had to deal with a little wintry mix as we went through late last night into the morning hours today, even into the afternoon. Tracked it on the Max Track Live Doppler. Again, not much to it. A little bit up still in northern Kentucky. That's going to be a snow flurry, a snow shower. Could have a little sleet or freezing drizzle mixed in there, and that's running from Williamstown just south of Falmouth back over to Brooksville to Maysville. That's going to be drifting up into Ohio. Future track from 7 o'clock. Again, a little flurry still can't be ruled out in eastern Kentucky. We're going to get rid of those. The cloud clearing line is going to work its way northeastward as we go through the night tonight. We may see a few clouds hanging in here as we get to morning, but that's with a warm front that will warm us up nicely as we get you into tomorrow afternoon and especially Friday. So late tomorrow afternoon, all things looking good. Temperatures at the moment, it is brisk. We're talking low and mid-30s for most, although Monticello, you are the exception to that rule. 34 out of Richmond, 35 Frankfort, 35 in Lexington. We are going to look at a warm-up for the next couple of days. We'll talk about that and your weekend in a couple minutes.
Thanks, Bill. Longtime Urban County Council member Kevin Stinnett announced this morning that he is running for mayor. Stinnett made the announcement at Kennewood Park, where he says he proposed to his wife at home plate on the baseball field. He has nearly 14 years of experience on the Lexington-Fayette Urban County Council.
Lexington is a great community. We all are a great community. And there is no question that we can become an extraordinary one. In recent years, we have made tremendous strides addressing financial problems, sewer and stormwater issues, and improving the quality of life for every citizen in Lexington. Thank you.
Former Vice Mayor Linda Gorton has also filed to run for mayor. Current Mayor Jim Gray has decided not to run for another term. He's running for the 6th District congressional seat.
The Clark County Animal Shelter needs help. Their transport van was destroyed in a crash, and they need $40,000 to replace it. And they want to get that done in less than a month. LEX18's Claire Crouch reports.
Every bark and every meow is personal for the people at the Clark County Animal Shelter.
You're all right, baby.
They pride themselves on a 97% adoption rate, but that soon could all disappear.
Animals' lives at our shelter are at risk.
That's because earlier this month, their transport van crashed while on the road in Pennsylvania. Out-of-state adoptions are crucial to the shelter's mission, as less than 10% of their animals find homes here in the Commonwealth. Every day without a transport van means an animal's life is on the line.
You know, on a weekly basis, we're euthanizing animals that could be a member of somebody's family.
Knowing just how vital the van is to operations, a group calling themselves Friends of the Clark County Animal Shelter has mobilized to raise the estimated $40,000.
People love animals. I think they want to make sure these animals find a home.
But the clock is already ticking. The shelter fears if they don't get a new van by February 15th, their shelter simply won't be able to handle the demand.
That's not something that I want to face. I want to be able to continue this mission, continue to educate the public on why we do this, and ultimately how do we fix it.
Covering the news in Clark County, Claire Crouch, LEX 18 News.
The battle over immigration reform takes another turn in Washington, D.C.
Senators are pulling their offer to fund the president's border wall. Plus, a former doctor accused of sexually abusing Olympic gymnasts is sentenced to decades in prison. And caught on cam, a big crew in China delivers a new train station overnight. We'll have those stories and more next when we cover your world.
Cold, kind of damp wind that's been blowing out there. Some folks a little wintry mix to contend with as well, and maybe little itty-bitty wintry mix, but still enough that it was out there. Tomorrow we'll have no such problems. We'll see some sunshine around as we're getting the day started. Brisk to begin the day. We'll be in the mid-20s. On our way to the 40-degree mark as we get you to the middle of the day, getting better as the day goes on. Back by the afternoon, how about temperatures pushing 50? That's pretty nice for the latter part of January. Show you how we get there. We take you with the MaxTrack Live Doppler, and again, you've got a few little returns coming out of northern Kentucky. Pendleton up through Bracken, Robertson, Grant County. That could be a little freezing, drizzle, a little sleet, a little snowflake mixed in there. We also have a few snow showers and flurries going on through eastern Kentucky as well. We're heading to the mild side of normal tomorrow. The weekend, it's going to ride the wave. We'll crest with the warmth Friday and still mild on Saturday. Then the rain comes. That rain's on a cold front and the temperatures head down Sunday into Monday. In the long term, we get one more warm shot middle of next week. And the pattern looks to undergo another change. Remember December? Just a little heads up what may be in the cards here. We'll talk more about that coming up at 6. What we're looking at today are temperatures that have been stuck in the mid-30s. It has been a kind of a raw day today, running a little bit below normal. We're a little bit above normal tomorrow. So there's your balance. We get warm, though, on Friday with temperatures upper 50s, still around 50 on Saturday, closer to 40 on Sunday. That may be a bit optimistic. Low 30s for Monday, a chilly day. It's chilly this afternoon. We're down to 30 in Flemingsburg. The bright white, you see that is the freeze line, so Jackson comes in at even freezing, so is Mount Sterling. Richmond and Danville were 34, but you got mid-30s out of London and Somerset, 35 Bluegrass Airport, with just a little tiny bit of sunshine trying to work its way out. West wind at 7, your wind chill comes in at 29. The cloud's been pretty thick for us today, and you see the little blips returning on the radar, more so up in Ohio, West Virginia. For us, we've been right on the southern edge of all this, so again, we've seen a little bit, but not much. Warm front's going to try and come by later tonight and tomorrow morning. It's going to introduce a high pressure from the south, replace the polar air to the north, and we begin to moderate quite nicely during the afternoon tomorrow. Good southwest winds starting Thursday night going on into Friday. That brings in the nice slug of warmth that we'll enjoy going Friday and at least the first part of Saturday. That front will bring the rain Saturday. That front will bring the cold on Sunday. So for tonight, becoming partly cloudy, seasonably cold. We're headed down to the mid-20s tomorrow. Partly to mostly sunny. Nice turn of a phrase there. Nicer afternoon. Upper 40s. We're in the upper 50s on Friday. Near 50 on Saturday as the rain arrives. Rain may last into early Sunday. Snow showers and cold a possibility on Monday.
Thanks and happy birthday, Bill.
Time to cover your world on LEX 18 News at 5:30. And we begin with a lot of movement about immigration in Washington.
Democratic senators have reportedly pulled their offer to fund a Mexican border wall, while the White House makes big steps on sanctuary cities. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has pulled the money off the table in his ongoing budget talks with the White House. Senate Democrats recently ended the government shutdown with assurances of a vote on giving so-called Dreamers citizenship. But this morning, President Trump responded saying, in part, if there's no wall, there's no DACA.
Meanwhile, Attorney General Jeff Sessions is threatening 23 sanctuary cities with subpoenas if they don't prove that police are handing over illegal immigrants to federal authorities. The DOJ is threatening to pull millions of dollars in grants if the cities don't cooperate. Federal courts in California and Illinois blocked similar efforts last year. Larry Nasser has learned his sentence amounts to a guarantee he'll die in prison.
The child porn convict who is accused of sexually abusing more than 100 athletes he was supposed to be treating will spend decades in prison. The judge chided the ex-USA Gymnastics doctor, sentencing him to anywhere from 40 to 175 years in prison. During sentencing, she told Nassar it's her privilege to send him to jail, saying it was effectively a death sentence. And finally, caught on cam, a huge feat of manpower on a Chinese railway.
Boy, I'll say more than 1,500 construction workers teamed up to build a train station in less than 9 hours. Construction began at 6:30 local time and was completed before 3 o'clock the next morning. It's part of a new railway that will span 152 miles, and it's expected to open by the end of the year. That's what was caught on cam, and now here's Angie with a look at what's ahead in the dollar stretch.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, Pizza Hut is offering a free pizza if a player makes history in the Super Bowl. And also, Toys R Us is closing a lot of stores nationwide, including one here in Lexington. We'll have those stories and more in today's Dollar Stretch. Back live on LEX 18 News at 5:30. It's time for the dollar stretch. Pizza lovers have extra incentive to watch the Super Bowl thanks to Pizza Hut. The pizza chain is offering a free 2-topping medium pizza if the record for fastest touchdown ever is broken. The current record is 14 seconds into the game by Chicago's Devin Hester back in 2007. To be eligible for the free pizza, you have to sign up for the pizza chain's Hut's Rewards program before kickoff on February 4th. KFC's latest promotion is a chicken wing box that doubles as a drone. Just punch out the parts of the limited edition box, follow instructions available online, and then download a smartphone app to control your fried chicken themed aircraft. But there is a catch. It's only available this Thursday and Friday, and it's only in India. Toys R Us plans to close roughly 180 stores across the nation, including a Babies R Us here in Lexington. That's the location in Hamburg on Starshoot Parkway. The move affects a fifth of the company's U.S. stores. The company is trying to shuffle the deck to pull itself out of bankruptcy protection. Toys R Us cites gaps in customer service during the holiday season for a drop in sales. And let's take a look at how stocks finished the day. The Dow Jones is up about 41 points at 26,252. The Nasdaq down today about 45 points. It's sitting at 7,415.
Kevin Knox was feeling it from long range last night. Hear what the UK freshman had to say about his three-point shooting, especially the one that he banked in. That's next in your True Blue coverage.
The state has now elevated the flu levels to epidemic. What does that mean now for you and your family? We'll talk about it coming up.
Kentucky was able to hold off Mississippi State last night 78-65 to avoid the first 3-game losing streak in the John Calipari era. The Wildcats now 15-5 overall, 5-3 in the SEC, and 10 games to go in league play. Against the Bulldogs, the Wildcats were led by P.J. Washington's 22. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander had 16 points, 6 assists, and Kevin Knox had a big game with 19 while hitting all 4 of his 3-point shots. 3 of them came in the first half on almost back-to-back-to-back trips down the court. It was the third that was the most unusual as Knox banked in for his 3rd triple, and it also got quite the reaction from his fellow Wildcats and even one of the assistant coaches.
I did not mean to do that, and I made it. I looked over at KP, and he was spazzing. He was going off. He was cussing me out and everything. So I just tapped my chest. I said my bad, even though it went in. He was going off. So
how do you keep from laughing when that happens?
I was smiling, but I was smiling when I made it, and then I looked over to the bench and saw him spaz. I started smiling because I didn't want to see him smiling. So I just tapped my